Hi everybody. Today we're going to skip ahead a few pages to lesson 14-6 in your book. It starts on page 777, and today we're actually going to be starting to look at three-dimensional shapes. So on this page, on page 777, it starts by asking, can you find objects in the classroom that are shaped like the objects below? Again, when we're done, to have some fun, you may want to go through your house and find things that have these shapes in them. All right, but we're going to actually start on page 778. Okay, up at the top, it says three-dimensional shapes can be grouped in different ways. Okay, now three-dimensional shapes actually have some shape to them. They actually come off the paper. They're not flat. Okay, you can pick them up and turn them around if they weren't drawn. That's why they're so hard to draw on a paper, because we're trying to make them look like they have all these sides and edges and faces, and we're trying to draw it on something flat. So real three-dimensional shapes you can actually pick up, turn around in your hands. It's not a flat shape like the two-dimensional shapes. So we'll pull these back out in a little bit. All right. The flat surface of each of these shapes is a circle. So if you notice, this is called a cylinder. And if you look at this flat side, it actually looks like a circle. Okay, it's the shape of a circle. Now, the rest of it is not a circle, but these two sides are these two faces. Now, this one is a cone, and it also has a side that is a circle. So these flat surfaces are circles on these. Now, if you notice, this one is not a flat surface, and this one is not a flat surface. They actually curve around, but the circles are flat on those two shapes. These shapes have edges and vertices. Look, edges, just like a square, right? Vertices, just like the corners on a square. Their flat surfaces are called faces. So this is a face. Okay, so this is the face, the flat shape. The edges are where the sides come together, where the faces come together. The vertices are the points or the corners. Okay, so here we have some drawings of the cube. Okay, and it's showing the edges right along the edge. The faces are the flat sides, and the vertices are the points. Okay, it says the faces of the cube and the rectangular prism are rectangles. So here is a rectangular prism. See how it's longer on one side? So it's got a face of a rectangle. A sphere is a 3D shape that has no flat surfaces, no edges, and no vertices. And I do not have one with me right now, but we all know what a sphere is. We play with them quite often on the playground. A ball. The reason that we like to play with the balls is because there's no flat sides or surfaces or edges or vertices. So they roll, they bounce. Okay, if they had flat sides, they would not roll very well, would they? All right, down here we're going to start looking at our different shapes. And here is our 3D shape for number 1. It says the number of faces or flat surfaces. So I'm going to hold this. We have 1 on top, 2 for the bottom, 3 for the front, 4 for the back, 5 for this side, 6 for this side. So this 3D shape has 6 faces or flat surfaces. The vertices, okay, these corners, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 along the top, and then I also have 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. So there's a total of 8 sharp points or vertices. Number of edges, now this gets tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top. 5, 6, 7, 8 along the bottom, and then we have sides or edges connecting. 9, 10, 11, 12. So we actually have 12 edges with what we call our rectangular prism. Okay, so 6 faces, or the flat sides, 8 vertices, the corners, and 12 edges if you go all the way around. Okay, the next one is our cone. Okay, the number of flat faces or flat surfaces. We only have one. This curves all around, doesn't it? So we have one flat face or flat surface right there on the bottom. Number of vertices. We have 1. Number of edges. Do you see any straight edges there? Nope. There are 0 edges on a cone. So you can see they're kind of interesting when they're curved and when they have the circular side because the numbers are kind of weird. All right. Let's go ahead and work on page 779. If you want to do it on your own, go ahead and push pause, and then you can push play to check, or you can do it with me. All right, how many faces or flat surfaces and vertices does each object have? Well, let's look. A ball. Number of faces or flat surfaces? 0. That's why it rolls so well. Number of vertices? 0. Again, that's why it rolls so well. Number of edges? 0. If it didn't have 0, it would be bouncing. It would be just stuck there. So all of these things are really good when you're trying to play ball with a sphere. A cube. Number of faces or flat surfaces. Again, we have top, 1, bottom, 2, front, 3, back, 4, side, 5, side, 6. We have 6 flat surfaces or faces. Number of vertices. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points at the top, and 5, 6, 7, 8 at the bottom. So we have a total of 8 sharp corner vertices. Number of edges. 1, 2, 3, 4 around the top, 5, 6, 7, 8 around the bottom, 9, 10, 11, 12 connecting the top and the bottom. So a total of 12 edges. Okay, the drum, this is actually called a cylinder, and we have the top and the bottom, and then curves in the middle. So we have 2 flat surfaces, 2 faces, the top and the bottom. Number of vertices, do you see any sharp points? Nope, 0. And the edges, okay, the edges, we have 1, 2 edges. Okay, it says Lily has an object that looks like a 3D shape. The object has 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices. Draw an object that Lily could have. So 2 flat surfaces, 0 vertices. It's like the drum. And you know what you have in your cupboard that looks kind of like this? Cans. Cans of beans, cans of soup. So any kind of can, if you have a glass in your cupboard, okay, it is called a cylinder. Turn to page 780. This shape is a cone. Which shape below is also a cone? How do you know? Well, this one we have to again count the number of flat surfaces. It's flat on the bottom, but it's not flat on the top. It's pointy up here. This one's flat on this side and flat over on this side. This one's flat and pointy. So this one is the cone because it has 1 flat side, 1 vertice. Nikki and Ben each buy 1 item from the store. Nikki's item has 4 more edges than vertices. Ben's item has the same number of flat surfaces and edges. Draw a circle around Nikki's item. Draw a box around Ben's item. All right, so Nikki has 4 more edges than vertices. So if I go back over here, I look at the edges. That's not 4 more. Is 12 more than 8? 4 more than 8? 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 12 is 4 more. So we're looking for something that looks like that. Which one of these looks most like that? Flat sides, flat edges, and points. Yes, the eraser. Ben's item has the same number of flat surfaces and edges. So this one has 2 flat surfaces for the drum, has 2 edges. This one doesn't have any, so the drum would be for Ben. Oops, sorry, I need to draw a box around Ben. Circle around Nikki's, a box around Ben's. Draw and label a 3D shape, then write a sentence describing your 3D shape. Now it is very difficult to draw a 3D shape. So I'm going to try, I start with one of the flat sides for a square, okay, for the flat side. And then I'm going to come over here and I make it look kind of crooked to show the top. And then I come down and I kind of make it a little crooked for the side. So I can't show you all of them because some of them are hidden away. See how you can't see the whole thing? You can't see what's down here? Same thing with your drawing. So this is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and another vertice way over there we can't see. 8 vertices. Okay, so this one is a cube, 6 sides, 8 vertices, and then we could also say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 edges for my drawing. I have 6 faces. I have 8 vertices. Which 3D shape could I be? Could I be a sphere? Could I be a ball and have 8 vertices? No. Could I be a cube? 6 faces? 8 vertices? Yes. Could I be a rectangular prism? 6 faces? 8 vertices? Yes. Could I be a cylinder? Does that have 6 faces and 8 vertices? No. So cube and rectangular prism will work. Okay, it is time for you to do your homework, pages 781 and 782. When you're done, have an adult check it or take a picture and send it to your teacher.